Here we go.
Bueno, Rafael Ithier, Anthony García, Joselito, estamos aquí en esta tremenda fiesta que nos invitaron.
Qué chévere, qué
De
chévere.
Navidad.
Esto está precioso, esta casa. Esto
Tremenda.
está bello.
Llegamos aquí relativamente de San Juan, de aquí hasta Río Grande, más o menos en 45 minutos, pero antes, en esas primeras actividades, por ejemplo, de San Juan a Ponce, ¿cómo se llegaba? ¿Cómo era la cosa?
Y lo que había para allá era la piquiña. Y cuando cogía la piquiña, si se encontraba con un tro al frente, no llegaba nunca. Oye, nunca.
Y esa área del sur, ¿dónde era que más los contrataban ustedes?
Pues nosotros tocábamos mucho en la playa de Ponce. Y había un sitio que se llamaba displaced. Y había otro sitio que se llamaba el Ithier.
Under the tree, ok.
Y se fumaban unas peleas.
Ay, Dios mío.
Muchachos de ese negocio. Pero tocábamos mucho en Ponce.
Y el San Juan que estaba en ese momento, ¿era igual de pintoresco que ahora?
Bueno, como yo siempre he estado enamorado de San Juan,
Ok.
yo visito San Juan, nada más que por verlo, porque estoy enamorado de San Juan. Siempre ha sido pintoresco, bonito para mí. Definitivamente se vivió otra época, ¿tú entiendes? No había el movimiento que hay ahora y eso.
Si usted está fuera de Puerto Rico, por qué sé yo, por un año, fuera de Puerto Rico, y le dan a escoger un sitio icónico de Puerto Rico para que usted vaya y escoja, este es el sitio que yo quisiera ir para abrazarlo, para estar allí, para tener recuerdos otra vez, ¿cuál de todo Puerto Rico usted cogería?
Bueno, amigo, sencillamente no tengo un sitio específico que no sea la isla más linda del mundo. No importa dónde esté, siempre me acuerdo de Puerto Rico.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. That was a late musician and composer and founder of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. He passed away at 99 years old on December the 6th over the weekend. We'll be talking about that more later today. But welcome back to Unbound, the show where we dive deep into the headlines and unpack the chaos and ask the questions everyone else is too afraid to ask, as always. I'm Jey Morales, and with me tonight is my co-host, Revelation. How you doing, Revelation?
Oh, pretty normal. Just, hating the snow and freezing.
It is freezing. It says it feels like 2 degrees outside here in western New York, ladies and gentlemen. Also tonight, we have our usual special guest, Dab Don 710. How you doing, Dab?
Good evening. I'm doing all right. How's everybody else tonight?
Good. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We have about 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks until Christmas? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. 15 days until Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Now, tonight we got a jam-packed lineup from major moves in streaming world to international conflicts, space weather alerts, economic updates, celebrity milestones, and cultural losses that span the globe. We'll be breaking down the U.S. Venezuela tanker seizure with Dab Don, the Federal Reserve latest rate cut, Trump's Pennsylvania speech, fighting along the Thailand, Cambodia border, a major geomagnetic storm alert, ongoing legal drama with Luigi Mangione, the 100th birthday of Dick Van Dyke this Saturday, the passing of salsa legend, like we talked about in the beginning, of Rafael Ithier, the founder of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, the celebrity feuds and corporate battles in streaming with Netflix and Paramount Global. So stay with us. There's a lot to unpack tonight, and we'll be giving you the full picture, context, and the questions you need to consider. Let's shut off that music because I don't want it to interrupt the most breaking news of tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to swing it on to Dab Don right now to talk about Donald Trump's claims. Donald Trump claims U.S. seized oil tanker off Venezuela's coast.
Let me know when you're ready for me to start it.
Yeah, go ahead. It's all you, babe.
Alrighty, so if you'll on screen you'll have
Oh,
you see
that's
a
right. There we
I'll
go.
re-
There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
in a development that has immediately captured international attention, President Donald Trump announced that the United States, Jesus Christ, wow, had seized an oil tanker near Venezuelan waters. According to Trump, the vessel was reportedly carrying millions of barrels of crude oil, with approximately half of the shipment destined for Cuba. The revelation has sparked concerns over rising geopolitical tensions in the Western Hemisphere, drawing reactions from diplomats, analysts, and energy experts alike. The tanker, who we now know was designated call sign Skipper, was intercepted under circumstances that remain largely unclear. Which, let me see if we have more information, because I feel like we have intention or way.
Courtesy of USA Today, ladies and gentlemen, and also the video was courtesy from AP News.
The Associated Press. So, give me a minute. Let me scroll through here.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, this portion of the episode is always brought to you by the K-Ville Hotel and Tavern, located in Klein-Felchersville, Pennsylvania. They're open from Wednesday to Sunday. They were open today, of course, from 4 to 9, Thursday 4 to 9, Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 8 p.m. They're located down in 2647 Heidelberg Avenue in Klein-Felchersville, Pennsylvania. Phone number 717-949-8413. Seth and Jamie will be more than happy to give you a booth and hang out and become part of the K-Ville family.
All right. So, excuse you.
Excuse you.
Okay. So, quote, for multiple years, the oil tanker has been sanctioned by the United States due to its involvement in illicit oil illicit oil shipping network. Oh my God. Supporting foreign terrorist organizations, Bondi said. End quote, Bondi said. Quote, the seizure completed off the coast of Venezuela was conducted safely and securely, and our investigation alongside DHS, Department of Homeland Security, to prevent the transportation of sanctioned oil continues, end quote. So, off that paragraph, the circumstances for it being intercepted is illicit oil shipping, meaning Hamas and Hezbollah. So, I mean, they're not going to come right out front and say that's what it's for, but they're going to beat around the bush. But that's what it's for. Venezuela has been backing. Venezuela has actually been backing. Iran has actually been backing Iran, and Iran has been backing Venezuela, and vice versa. Based off of an article from, I believe, Fox News, if I'm right. Yes, Fox News. Basically, Iran is backing Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro as the Trump administration steps up military pressure in the Caribbean. And expands its crackdown on the criminal networks tied to the regime in Caracas. Bum, bada, bum, bada, bum, bada, bum, bada, bum, bum. Is Isaias Medina III, former Venezuelan diplomat at the UN Security Council, who resigned in 2017 due to Maduro's human rights violations, war criminal. Sorry. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I told Fox News Digital that Iran's partnership with the rogue Venezuelan narco dictatorship is far from a principled stand for quote sovereign rights under the UN Charter. It is a calculated strategy serving mutual interests in criminal enterprise and asymmetric warfare, posing a direct and evolving threat to U.S. national security. End quote. So it's one of those deals of you keep me supplied with this, and I keep you supplied with this. Venezuela keeps Iran and Hezbollah and Hamas supplied with oil and cocaine, and they in turn get supplied with weaponry and stuff. Long story short on that. Anyways, back to our main article. If my mouse would decide to wake up. Thank you. Don't know what the hell that was. So, let's see. Trump claimed the action was taken to prevent the oil from reaching Cuba, citing long-standing U.S. sanctions against the island nation. While the former president's announcement suggested direct U.S. involvement, officials in Washington have yet to provide confirmation or details regarding the operation, leaving international observers speculating about the legal and strategic underpinnings of the seizure. Now we get a little bit of a timeline of events, guys. So, night of December 9th, 9th into the early morning hours of December 10th, 2025, it was an overnight operation, which, judging by the video that we just watched a few minutes ago, I kind of don't believe that, because that video was broad daylight, and they weren't using night visions or thermals, which tells me that planning was done overnight, and we carried out the operation at first full light. So and then today, earlier this afternoon, Trump publicly announced the seizure of the tanker. And then at 1:40 this afternoon, major media outlets began publishing the first reports to confirming the claim. So, Venezuela, which has experienced significant economic and political turmoil in recent years, relies heavily on oil exports for revenue. The reported seizure of a tanker carrying millions of barrels could have serious economic consequences for the country. Additionally, Cuba's dependence on Venezuelan oil makes it a key player in the unfolding situation. Energy analysts warned that interruptions in crude shipments could affect not only domestic fuel availability, but also broader regional energy markets. The move also raises questions about international law and maritime protocols. Seizing a commercial vessel on the high seas, particularly one bound for a third country, or a third world country, touches on complex legal frameworks, including the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea and U.S. sanctions enforcement. Experts note that such actions risk escalating diplomatic disputes, potentially drawing in other nations with vested interests in the region. The timing of the announcement, coming amid ongoing political debates in the United States, has added another layer of complexity. Some commentators view the seizure claim as a demonstration of a tough stance on foreign policy, while others caution that it could inflame tensions with both Venezuela and Cuba, further destabilizing an already fragile geopolitical landscape. As the situation continues to develop, international observers are urging transparency and careful diplomatic engagement. Questions remain about the legality of the seizure, the potential economic fallout for both Venezuela and Cuba, and the broader implications for the U.S. foreign policy in Latin America. Now, discussion questions for this topic. Starting off, what are the potential geopolitical consequences of the reported tanker seizure for U.S. Venezuelan relations? Go ahead and let us know in the comments. I kind of I'll give my input and then you guys can kind of follow up. Because in my opinion, now it's going to cause some problems. There's going to be some beef now. Venezuela's probably not happy. We just stole their money. I mean, that's like stealing dope from a crackhead.
And that's the facts on that.
So, but at the same time, it also shows, okay, the U.S. ain't fucking playing. Maybe I need to stop being stupid. It's good. It is gonna make some. It is going to. There are definitely going to be some consequences. There's no sugarcoating trying to be sweet about it. There are going to be some complications with this stuff.
Hell yeah. Anything else, Revelation, that you
Number
want to
two.
add to that question?
Oh, yep. You're right.
Revelation always has something good to say.
If Venezuela didn't, try and stick out their chest and act all tough over a drug boat getting blown up, none of this shit would have happened. But no, they had to snowball it.
America.
All right, go ahead and the questions.
So number two, how might disruptions in Venezuelan oil shipments affect regional and global energy markets? Well, seeing as to how literally last year when President Trump retook office, one of the first things he signed was the drill baby drill. So I don't see it hurting us too much because our gas prices are actually already coming down. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I've noticed almost a whole $100 drop in gas prices, almost $1.50.
I think it's because you're in the South.
I mean, that's possible, but you Yankees are obviously missing out, but so there might be certain areas of the country that benefit or suffer differently than others, per se. As far as like global, I can't really say because I'm not a global reporter. I'm not even a fucking reporter at all. I'm reading off a fucking script, guys. So, a script that I had to put together just to make sure I stayed on topic tonight. But is there going to be some sort of effect, either positive or negative? Yes. Will we know right away? No. Only time will tell.
Definitely.
What internet?
You're
Go
on
ahead.
your last one, right?
I've got two more.
Because according to OPEC, which is all the oil producing nations in the world, Russia controls nearly 80% of all oil collectively, while the United States is the top daily producer, and Saudi Aramco, which is Saudi Arabia's NOC, is the most valuable oil company. Venezuela holds the largest reserve. So
Sorry about that.
seizing that one oil tanker, considering it is extremely hard for Venezuela to get oil out, is very hard, not only on Iran, but if they can't get the oil to Iran can't get shit to them, especially because of the massive fleet of United States warships just sitting off of Venezuela.
Bart, on your next question.
All right. Anyways, question 3. When international laws and maritime protocols could be implicated in the interception of a commercial oil tanker? That one I'm gonna leave up for you guys because I have zero idea. Honestly.
Like I said, it's in international waters. And it literally was their own nation's fault. They wanted to fuck around, and unfortunately that oil tanker just happened to be the one that, was the fucking first ship that just was like, oh hey, I am the captain now. So, I mean, nobody on there got harmed. It wasn't a fucking hostile takeover. They were like,
No.
oh hey, yeah, you're taking over now, sorry. Your country kind of fucked you, so bada bing,
That's
bada
fair
boom.
enough.
It wasn't like we just fucking, 1700s pirated them fucking full broadside.
Right.
Besides, it's an oil
And-
tanker. Kinda don't want to do that.
Right. And question 4. How could this development influence Cuba's economic and political stability in the coming months? It could go both. It could go both ways. It could either drive the wedge even further in between the US and Cuba, or it could make it to where Cuba has to rely on the US all of a sudden. And
Cuba rely on the US, yeah. And pigs are gonna fucking fly.
Yeah. So I was gonna say.
well, sometimes hell freezes over, like today.
Sure. Yeah. I don't see that happening. I'm pretty sure Cuba's
I don't
just
either.
gonna hate us forever.
I don't either. Honestly, I don't either. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. I don't see it happen either.
Well,
But-
let me rephrase my. The government will always hate us, because I know the younger generation of Cubans, from testimony of actual Cubans who have made it to the U.S., literally do not hate us. It's just the older generation that remembers the Bay of Pigs hates us.
The Bay of Pigs wasn't entirely our fault.
No shit, it was the CIA, and correction. No, it was our fault. It had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with that agency. Nothing at all. Let's move on to another subject.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
Anyway, go ahead and
All
let
right.
us know what y'all think in the comments down below. Either that or in the chat section.
Don't ever be afraid, guys. This is what we do here on Unbound. We we talk about these topics. We try to find all the articles and we combine them together, and we work together to attack the discussions. So thank you very much again, Dab Don, for that information tonight. I know that you'll have another one. I believe you said later on in the show.
Yes, sir.
Right now, we're going to move into the Federal Reserve cuts benchmark rate for the third time this year. But before I go to that, we're going to give you the next sponsor here, ladies and gentlemen. The next sponsor of the show is brought to you by Atlas Epoxy Floors. Their phone number is 203-496-6386, or you can contact Bradford Kelly at brad.kelly at Atlas Epoxy Floors. It's a lifetime warranty on those floors, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you contact Bradford Kelly. He does garages, basements, patios, lobbies, countertops, you name it, ladies and gentlemen. He can travel anywhere you need. He is located in Milford, Connecticut, but he can go down to the south, to the west, to the north, and anywhere in the East Coast, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you get a hold again of Bradford Kelly. You can also check out his website at www.atlasepoxyfloors.com. For more information, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you can contact him at his phone number, 203-496-6386, ladies and gentlemen. But now we're going to move on here in a move aimed to supporting economic growth and stabilizing employment. The Federal Reserve announced its third interest rate cut of 2025, lowering the benchmark federal funds rate to 3.50 to 3.75%. The decision comes amid ongoing economic uncertainty, with policymakers citing concerns about slowing growth and a desire to bolster the labor market. The rate reduction, while modest, reflects the Fed's continued effort to strike balance between controlling inflation and encouraging investments. By making borrowing cheaper, the central bank hopes to stimulate consumer spending, encourage business expansion, and ultimately support support job creation across the U.S. economy. Analysts have noted that the move may also influence mortgage rates, corporate lending, and broader financial markets, impacting both consumers and investors. The latest adjustment makes the third cut in 2025 following a previous reductions in March and September, signaling a shift in the Fed's approach as inflation pressures have eased slightly, but uncertainty in global markets persists. While some economists argue that the cuts are necessary to prevent a slowdown in employment growth, others caution that repeatedly lowering rates could risk overheating certain sectors or encouraging excessive borrowing. Financial markets responded quickly to the announcement. Stocks in sectors sensitive to interest rates, such as real estate and consumer discretionary, showed gains, while Treasury yields adjusted to reflect the lower borrowing costs. Analysts emphasize that the Fed statements accompanying the decision will be scrutinized for hints about future rate changes, with investors looking for signals on how long accommodative policy might continue. A key motivation behind the rate cut is supporting the labor market. U.S. employment rates have remained relatively stable, but concerns about underemployment and wage stagnation have prompted the Fed to take proactive measures. By reducing the cost of borrowing, the central banks hope to encourage businesses to expand operations and hire additional workers, providing a buffer against potential economic slowdown. So here's my discussion questions about this. How might the Federal Reserve's interest rate cut impact U.S. consumers and borrowers in the short term? What are the potential risks and benefits of lowering rates multiple times within a single year? How could this move influence investment strategies and stock market trends? And in what ways does the Federal Reserve policy employment growth and wage levels? So you guys let us know in the comment section. What do you boys think? I think this is the the third cut that we talked about in the last couple months.
I mean, I understand having to save money, but
Well, for impact on consumers and borrowers, and lower rates make loans, mortgages, and credit cheaper, boosting spending and borrowing in the short term. Benefits and stimulates economy growth, supports employment, encourages investment. There could be some risk though. It can lead to excessive borrowing, asset bubbles, or inflation if overdone. Influence on investment on stock markets. Lower rates often push investors towards stocks in riskier assets, potentially boosting markets but increasing volatility. Sorry about that. Effects on employment and wages. Cheaper borrowing encourages businesses to expand and hire more workers, which can increase employment and put upward pressure on wages over time. So again, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what do you think about these cuts, and we'll talk about it on the next segment. Moving on, though, Trump delivers a campaign-style speech in Pennsylvania yesterday. On yesterday, on December 9th, at approximately 8:38 p.m. Eastern Time, President Donald Trump delivered a high-energy campaign-style rally at the Mount Airy Casino Resort in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Billed as the first stop on an affordability tour, the event was designed to address the economic concerns of everyday Americans, including inflation, rising cost of living, and stagnant wages. The rally drew a large crowd, from across the region, reflecting the continued interest in Trump's messaging and his ability to energize supporters in key battleground areas. Trump spent much of his nearly 100-minute speech discussing what he described as improvements in the economy under his leadership. He pointed to falling gas prices, noting that the national average regular gasoline has dipped below $3 per gallon, framing it as evidence of administration's effectiveness. Trump emphasized that inflation was being brought under control and credited his policies, including deregulation, increased energy production, and tariffs, with surprising investment and job creation. He repeatedly contrasted his economic record with what of previous administrations, arguing that his approach had better served working-class families and despite persistent challenges in certain sectors. While the event was presented as an economic address, much of the speech diverged into political charge and controversial territory. Trump revisited inflammatory remarks about immigration, explicitly using the term shithole countries to describe certain nations he criticized, including Afghanistan, Haiti, and Somalia. He singled out Representative Ilhan Omar in a derogatory manner, prompting chants of "send her back" from the crowd beyond immigration. He touched on issues ranging from transgender rights to trade and global conflicts, blending policy discussion with provocative rhetoric that drew both cheers and criticism. The public response was immediate and polarized. Supporters praised Trump's direct style, his focus on affordability, and his assertion that economic growth was occurring under his administration. Critics, however, condemned the remarks about immigrant and radicalized language as sorry about that. Divisive, right? Divisive. Am I saying it right? It's like division, but
Divisive.
Div- huh? Divisive, divisive,
Divisive.
and offensive. Many commentators noted that provocation, suggesting that Trump's aims to energize his base while framing opponents as mismanaging the economy. Analysts also observed that holding the rally in a battleground region of Pennsylvania was politically significant, as the state remains as key focus for the 2026 midterms. The combination of economic discussion, cultural commentary, and incendiary language appeared designed to both reassure and mobilize his supporters, demonstrating how economic anxiety is being intertwined with broader political narratives. For some attendees, for the speech resonated as a message of hope for more affordable living costs and job security. For others, it's highlighted ongoing polarization in the controversies that continue to follow the president. This Pennsylvania rally underscores the challenges of communicating economic progress while engaging in divisive political rhetoric. The event offered insight into Trump's strategy for the upcoming months, revealing a calculated approach that mixes policy claims with high energy, confrontational commentary on social and cultural of Trump's leadership, his handling of economy, and the broader political landscape in the United States. Now we're gonna move on to the ending discussing questions. I need a drinkity drink. How do Trump's remarks on affordability and inflation resonate with voters facing economic uncertainty? What are the potential political consequences of revisiting controversial language about foreign countries in a domestic economic policy speech? How might the timing and tone of this speech influence public perception of Trump's leadership style and policy priorities? In what ways do campaign-style speeches blending economic messaging and cultural issues shape the national conversation on social and economic policy? Let us know, as always, in the comment section. What do you boys think? Oh my God.
I mean, the only thing I have an opinion on is the Haiti thing. To be frank, you couldn't pay me to go to Haiti. Like that, his whole comment about that being a shithole, that's being generous.
Well, I mean, they just
You
had
literally
a catastrophe
have-
over the summer, or I mean, a couple months ago. There's no more
Yeah,
Haiti.
dude,
It's
that
gone.
is literally a horrid country.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
they just
people
had a
eat
massive.
each other in the streets.
You know. Well, I mean, I know there's a lot of people here in this area of New York that go down to Haiti and they build homes and churches. They also provide food. There's a lot of churches here that go down.
I mean, I'm not saying that that like
so I mean, with
people
that
don't do
statement,
that
I don't
in
think
other
they're all dead.
countries, but like they literally had a civil war where the actual military was like, nah, screw this, joined the other dude's side, and whenever somebody would die, they would just start eating the person, and it was there was one scene caught on camera. This lady literally just had gotten shot and like 3 dudes just dragged her into an alley and just started fucking eating her. Yeah. Dude, hey, it's wild, and this happens apparently on a regular basis. Like, they ranked it worse than Somalia in 1991. And if anyone knows about Somalia in 1991, that was horrid. To be ranked worse than that is bad. So,
Right.
the other countries, I don't know anything about, so some of the people that he might have said stuff about, though, there are some truly horrid people in this country. He might have been referring to, I don't know what the names of them were. Like, I don't know. That's why I said the only real thing I have an opinion on is Haiti.
The rest of the answers to these questions, ladies and gentlemen. One, resonance with voters, emphasizing affordability, inflation, and may reassure voters are worried about rising costs and economic instability. Number two, political consequence of controversial language, using inflammatory remarks about foreign countries can alienate some voters, provoking criticism and deepen polarization. Number three, impact of timing and tone. High energy, confrontational speech can energize supporters but may reinforce negative perception of leadership style among opponents. And number four, effect on a national conversation. Combining economic messaging with cultural issues can dominate media coverage, influence public debate, and frame policy discussions through bipartisan lens. So, or partisan lens, not bipartisan. So, yeah, there's that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move along now. We're going to now go into the fighting that's been surging along with Thailand and Cambodia. They're saying 7 civilians have been killed and thousands displaced. So, in a renewed violence along Thailand and Cambodia border has left at least 7 civilians dead and forced thousands to flee their homes, creating a deepening humanitarian crisis in the region. Clashes between armed groups and local security forces escalated over the past week, with reports of heavy gunfire, shelling, and targeted attacks in multiple villages near the border. The fighting has exacerbated tensions in an area already prone to instability due to historical disputes, political fragility, and the presence of various militant factions. Eyewitnesses describe chaotic scenes as residents scramble to escape the violence. Families have been forced to seek temporary shelters in schools, community centers, and makeshift camps, while aid organizations race to provide emergency food, water, and medical assistance. Hospitals nearby towns report being overwhelmed, struggling to treat civilians injured in the crossfire. This sudden displacement has disrupted livelihoods with farmers and traders unable to access their fields and markets, raising fears of longer-term economic hardship for border communities. Regional authorities and international observers have expressed concerns over the escalation. Thailand and Cambodia have deployed additional security personnel to stabilize affected areas, but those root causes of the violence remain complex. Analysts note that lingering territorial disputes, historical grievances, and cross-border smuggling operations may be contributing to the flare-up, while ongoing political instability in parts of Cambodia has made coordinated responses difficult. The conflict has also sparked broader geopolitical concerns. Neighboring countries are closely monitoring the situation for potential spillover, particularly as refugees move across border and humanitarian organizations struggle to maintain neutral access. The United Nations and other international bodies have called for calm, urging both governments to prioritize civilian protection and negotiate solutions to prevent further casualties and displacement. The human cost of the conflict is stark. Aside from 7 confirmed civilian deaths, thousands have been uprooted from their homes, with vulnerable populations, including women and children, facing heightened risks. Access to food, clean water, and medical care remains limited, raising urgent questions about the international community's capacity to respond effectively. Now, my discussion questions about this. Give me one moment here. What immediate humanitarian measures are needed to protect civilians affected by the fighting along the Thailand Cambodia border? How can regional governments and international organizations work together to prevent further escalation, while long-term political or historical factors might be contributing to repeated outbreaks? Man, what's going on with this? There we go, to repeated outbreaks of violence in this area. How does cross border conflict impact regional stability, trade, and refugee flows in Southeast Asia? Let us know what you already know about the situation happening out there in Thailand and Cambodia. I know that if you don't mind, Revelation, looking up more about what's happening right now in Sudan, I think 100 and something people have died. I saw some breaking news about it and I forgot to grab it. So if you can look into that, that'll be cool. Now, the answers to these questions, ladies and gentlemen: immediate humanitarian measures for number one, provide emergency shelters, food, clean water, medical aid, and safe evacuation routes for civilians. Number two, regional cooperation to prevent escalation, coordination, security forces engaged in diplomacy and involvement, and involve international organizations for mediation and monitoring. Um, Number three, long-term contributing factors: historical territorial disputes, political instability, ethnic tensions, and cross-border smuggling networks. Number four, impact on regional stability and trade: disrupts local economies, hinders trade, strains refugee systems, and can destabilize neighboring countries. So, again, let us know in the comment section what you guys think of what's happening in Thailand and Cambodia, and what's your opinion about it.
I'm gonna break this down real simple. So, what's gonna happen if anything? The UN's gonna get involved. They're gonna attempt peace talks. Nothing's gonna happen because in Asia, everyone fucking hates each other. They all want to be the dominant, Asian power. China hates Japan. Japan hates China. Japan hates Korea. Korea hates Japan. Korea hates China. China hates Korea. So on and so forth. They all fucking hate each other. Meanwhile, as the UN is giving out humanitarian aid, do you want to know what the humanitarian aid is? Rice and water. That's literally it. They'll also give them things like, sleeping bags, tents, and then they'll contract out to Doctors Without Borders. That is literally what they will have. Will they bring in the peacekeepers? No, they won't. So what will end up happening? Those humanitarian aid centers that they will have set up will then promptly get raided by either side, and at which point in time, that side then gets bolstered by all these fresh supplies, and it just becomes a never-ending cycle. This has literally happened plenty of times before when the UN, goes in to do it. At which point the UN peacekeepers have to come in, and then it creates a larger conflict. More people start dying, and now this humanitarian aid mission that they went in to go on turns into an international conflict. So, yeah, humanitarian aid things that they rarely ever work out. Like, it's not feasible to do. Like, if it's just, oh, hey, we gotta go help this one singular country. Yeah, fine, all fine and dandy. During wartime, though, no. Completely different story. Like, you gotta make sure the two sides aren't gonna fuck around with it. Like, it's it's so convoluted and fucked up. Because then people don't want to evacuate where they live because chances are they've been living there forever. And with Asia, like I just said, they all fucking hate each other. So even if there is a peace agreement, fucking 5, 10 years later, they're just gonna be right at it again. So yeah,
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move along now to the next thing to the next topic. Strong geomagnetic storm expected soon. Potential satellite radio disruptions and aurora views. Meteorologists and space weather experts are warning that a strong geomagnetic storm is expected to strike Earth in the upcoming hours, with the potential to disrupt satellite operation, interfere with radio communications, and produce spectacular aurora displays visible far beyond the usual high latitude regions. Um, the alert issued by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA, Space Weather Prediction Center, the SWPC, comes after a recent surge of solar activity, bursts of solar flares, and coronal mass ejection CMES have propelled high-speed streams of charged particles towards Earth. These streams, sorry, give me one moment. Here we go. These streams, were interacting with the planet's magnetic field, can create disturbances in the magnetosphere, triggering geomagnetic storms. According to the NOAA, the watch was issued Monday evening, December 8th, 2025, with effects expecting to begin the late night or by early Tuesday, December 9th. Some forecasts indicate that the storm's intensity might peak around midday Tuesday Eastern Time. So, why is Docket Team giving me something that already happened? Docket Team, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna skip the geomagnetic storm. We're alive. Did you guys have any issues with your internet last night? Let us know in the comment section.
No.
Let us know in the comment section if you had issues with your radios. What was it again? With your radio and if you saw any aurora lights in the sky, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're gonna move on along because we're running a little bit behind because how late we started, ladies and gentlemen. Legal drama. Pre-trial hearing continues for alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangione. A year after his arrest, the pre-trial hearing for Luigi Mangione, accused of killing Brian Thompson, the former CEO of the United Healthcare, continues in a lower Manhattan courtroom. The focus of hearing is not on Mangione's guilt or innocence, but on whether key pieces of evidence prosecutors plan to use at a trial are admissible, making the proceedings critical to the tragic trajectory of the case. Mangione was arrested on December 9th, 2024 of last year at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, 5 days after Thompson was fatally shot on a Manhattan sidewalk. He faces multiple charges, including second-degree murder and federal firearms violations, and the federal case carries the possibility of the death penalty. While some state-level terrorism-related charges were previously dismissed, the remaining murder and weapon charges continue to anchor the case. On December 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year after his arrest yesterday, the evidentiary hearing entered its fifth day. Defense attorneys argued that critical evidence, including a backpack found on Mangione's at the time of his arrest, was obtained unlawfully. Inside the backpack, authorities reported discovered a 9mm handgun, which prosecutors say matches the weapon used to kill Thompson, along with a notebook containing writings they interpret as manifesto expressing animus toward towards health insurers. Towards health insurers. Manjone's lawyer contend that the search violated his constitutional rights and that statements he made before being read his Miranda rights should be suppressed. During the hearing, police body camera footage was presented to the court. The footage shows officers approaching Mangione, asking him to remove his mask and produce identification, at which point he alleged providing a false name. The defense asserts that any statements made before being advised for his rights are therefore inadmissible, potentially weakening the prosecution's case. The proceedings have seen interruptions, including a postponement due to Manjone's illness, but the courts has continued to review the contested evidence. Prosecutors maintain that the gun, notebook, and other materials are central to proving Manjone's alleged planning and motive, and the judge ruling on admissibility could significantly shape the state case. If key evidence is suppressed, prosecutors may have to rely more heavily on surveillance video, forensic findings, and federal charges to pursue conviction. The outcome of this hearing has far-reaching implications not only for Mangione's trial but also for broader legal standards concerning searches and pre-arrest questioning in high-profile cases. Legal experts note that the judge's decisions could set precedent in balance defendants' constitutional protections with the need to preserve critical evidence in violent crimes prosecutions. Now, I ended discussing questions about this. How might the suppression of key evidence like the gun and notebook change the strength of the prosecution case? What are the risks and benefits of warrantless searches during arrests in cases involving alleged violent crimes? How should courts balance public interest in assuring justice for victims with the protection of defendants' constitutional rights? What role does body camera and surveillance footage play in modern criminal prosecutions, and how reliable is it compared to physical evidence or witness testimony? Let us know in the comment section. As always, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? I got the answers, if anything.
I mean, in court, you gotta have both the body cam and witness testimony, because as we all know, they can both contradict each other.
Indeed.
Because I mean, if you only allow that witness in there to say, "Oh well, Mr. Cop allowed so and so to get away because yada yada reason," but the body cam isn't in there, and it's a completely different story, that person's gonna get away, right? But if you only allow the body cam in there and it only shows certain angles, but the witness isn't in there and saw other angles, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, like, they can, like, the jury at that point can be like, oh, well, that angle, blah, blah, blah. Like, body cams can be both bad and good, depending, kind of like phones. Like, am I saying get rid of them? No, 100% keep them. But, like, it's one of those things, like, yeah, they malfunction. Make sure they're always, they need to be, when taken off at the station, immediately make sure every single fucking time, like, there was a person that goes in, uploads the footage, then immediately goes to work to check and make sure that they are in proper working order before that next officer puts them on. Because there have literally been times, like, I have heard where an officer goes to, like, tap the little button to turn the audio on, and, like, he has to call a supervisor because the shit won't even turn on. Hell, there's even been times where, like, only the body cam works, the car fucking camera won't work. Like, but hey, like, funding, got a decrease on the police when all these things that people want to make sure to, like, make sure they're safe from them. It's like those are the things keeping you safe, but those recording devices on them.
Right.
If they fail, like, you know what I mean? That funding is to make sure all that shit works properly. Well, not all of it, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, if that shit fails, you're not that safe. Like, I'm not against the police, but at the same time, if I were to be pulled over, I'd want to know that I'm safe because there's those proper precautions that the legal system made them have. Like, it'd be like me driving down the road. Oh, hey, I want to know that so and so driving next to me knows how the fuck to drive. That's why there's driver's licenses. Like, and has insurance if he fucking hits my car. I want to know that bastard has insurance so when we exchange it, it's fucking valid. Like, that's what those laws are for. Anyways, that's kind of my view on it.
Yeah. Oop. Messed up on something over here. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move on to the next topic. Finally, we're gonna move into now the legendary salsa icon Rafael. Rafael Ithier passes away on December the 6th. The world of Latin music is mourning the loss of Rafael Ithier, the celebrated founder of longtime musical director of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. Ithier died on December 6th, 2025, at the age of 99, leaving behind a legacy that spans more than 60 decades. Oh, sorry, the 6 decades, my bad, ladies and gentlemen, of musical innovation, mentorship, and cultural influence. Rafael Ithier was born August 29th, 1926, in the Rio Piedras district of San Juan, Puerto Rico. He lost his father at the age of 8 and began playing guitar by 10, performing locally to help support his family. Over time, he taught himself how to play Cuban tres, double bass, and piano, laying the foundation for a career that would profoundly shape salsa music. In 1952, Ithier served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. After his service, he joined New York-based orchestras before returning to Puerto Rico to perform with Cortijo y su Combo, gaining a national recognition for his musicianship and leadership skills. In 1962, Ithier founded El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, an orchestra that would come to define salsa music for generations. Under his leadership, and the band developed a distinctive sound and became a proving ground of emerging talent, earning the nickname La Universidad de la Salsa, the University of Salsa. Over more than 6 decades, Ithier guided El Gran Combo through world tours and dozens of albums, producing hits such as Me Liberé, Un Verano en Nueva York, and Y No Hago Más Na. His mentorship shaped countless musicians while maintaining the orchestra's vibrant signature style. The family of Maestro Rafael Ithier Natal in El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico announced that the official funeral details are honoring his life and legacy. In accordance with Maestro Ithier, final wishes, a solemn funeral mass will be held at the San Juan Bautista Cathedral in Old San Juan on Monday, December 15, 2025, at 10:30 a.m. The mass will be open to the public, allowing Puerto Ricans and fans worldwide to pay tribute to the maestro. Following the mass, the burial will take place in private family ceremony, with the final resting place to be announced at a later date. And this was announced by El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico group on their Facebook. On all their social media. Ithier's passing has drawn worldwide attention, highlighting his monumental impact on salsa, Latin music, and Puerto Rican culture identity. Prominent figures shared heartfelt tributes. Bad Bunny posted on his Instagram referencing Ithier's classic like Un Verano en Nueva York. Gilberto Santa Rosa described him as a father, calling him a musical genius, a natural leader and an administrator, and a loving family man. Willie Colon credited Ithier as an inspiration, emphasizing his influence on salsa commercial and cultural success. Other artists, including Elvis Crespo, Ismael Miranda, Chale Aponte, Wilfredo Vargas, Olga Tañón, publicly acknowledged his foundational role in salsa and his lasting influence across Caribbean and Latin music. El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico called Ithier the architect of sound that marked generations. Thanking fans and colleagues for their support, La Sonora Ponceña described his legacy as eternal, celebrating his contributions to elevating Puerto Rican salsa worldwide. Colombian band Guayacán recognized him as a giant of Latin music, and the Latin Recording Academy highlighted his award and historical importance. So sorry, guys, I get emotional reading about this. Fans around the world expressed grief and admiration, emphasizing the collective loss for Puerto Rican and Latin communities. Social media and forums reflected this outpouring with comments such as Descansa en paz, abuelo, vuela alto, rest in peace, grandpa, and fly high. Media outlets and cultural commentators describe Ithier as a giant of salsa. One of those immortals who brought glory to our country and a pillar of Latin music. His death has been seen a moment of reflection on Puerto Rican identity and a heritage, as his music helped define cultural pride globally. Why does this matter? The end of an era, ladies and gentlemen, the birth of a legacy. The passing of Rafael Ithier marks the end of direct living link to the early performative years of salsa. My God, I'm crying right now, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. As we know it today, by his legacy through El Gran Combo music, the artist he mentored, in the cultural identity he helped to shape. It's likely to endure for generations. A self-taught musician who rose from humble beginnings, Ithier embodied resilience, creativity, and pride. His role in founding and sustaining one of salsa's most influential orchestras means that decades from now, every note of conga, piano, and brass that echoes the rhythm of salsa music will carry trace of his influence. The name of La Universidad de la Salsa, meaning the University of Salsa, will remain a testament to his vision, dedication, and talent. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 10-second moment of silence. Rest in peace to Rafael Ithier, and my condolences to the musicians around the world that were impacted by this. With that, I'm gonna send it to give another bad news here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, because I need a second. We're gonna pass it over to Revelation to give us this current, also bad news of today of a very famous person. Go ahead, Revelation.
Let me bring it up.
As Revelation brings that up, ladies and gentlemen, as always, this show is always brought to you in part by... where is it? Here we go. Red Run and Velocity Modern Classics, ladies and gentlemen. This show is sponsored by Velocity Modern Classics. They're working right now on a Fox body, Post Malone vehicle right now. We'll be doing some pictures here on Friday. I have them all ready to go. I just haven't been able to post them. But as soon as I have them ready, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be showing them to you. And so you can see how the progress and the idea of Post Malone's vehicle will be. Again, shout out to Red Rum and Velocity Modern Classics for always sending us the goods and sponsoring our show. Back to you.
Jeff Garcia, best known as the voice of Sheen in the hit Nickelodeon cartoon Jimmy Neutron, has died at the age of 50. The actor's son, Jojo Garcia, revealed the tragic news on social media on Wednesday. He said on Instagram, "With a very heavy heart, I would like to inform everybody that my father, Jeff Garcia, has passed away. My father was a unique soul. He was unapologetically himself, and I will always admire the love, compassion, and drive that he had." He also noted that his dad guided him and gave me advice that I live by every single day. It then goes on to say, oh, he had more. Hold on. I would call him every day. I would tell him about the plans I had in comedy and my life. Sorry about that. He believed in me in a way that nobody else did. He continued, the talent my father possessed was truly one of a kind. From voice acting to stand-up comedy, he shined with his quick wit, brash humor, and charm. He also shared how he left a lasting... Stop with the ad. Now you made me screw up my place.
That's how it be.
Hold on, everyone.
What happened?
It gave me an ad, and now I gotta...
Oh, man, I messed up.
Hold on. I think this is where I was. He shared how Jeff left a lasting impact on many of the fans from both the Nickelodeon series and his stand-up shows. He was my hero. I idolized him. He may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. He lives on through our family and friends he loves so dearly, along with the legacy he has created. I know you're in heaven smiling down, and you're in a better place now. And that concluded the Instagram post. I think...
What the heck is going on? Here we go.
Yeah, I think that is... I think that is all.
Well, I pulled up a picture of Jeff Garcia. We're gonna take another 10 second moment of silence.
It was about to be 10-minute.
Sorry.
Wow.
10-second moment of silence, real quick. Rest in peace, Jeff Garcia, and thank you for our childhood. We truly appreciate it. What a crappy week, man. What a crappy week. But in some other positive news, Dick Van Dyke is going to turn 100 years old on Saturday, December 13, 2025. Iconic actor and entertainer Dick Van Dyke will celebrate his 100th birthday on December 13th, like I said. Van Dyke has enjoyed a career spanning more than 8 decades, leaving an indelible mark on film, television, and stage. In honor of this milestone, a special documentary titled Dick Van Dyke 100 Celebration will premiere in select theaters on December 13th and the 14th of this year. The film highlights his long and influential career with rare clips, behind-the-scenes stories, and reflections on decades in entertainment, providing both longtime fans and new audiences with a deeper look at a man's behind the legendary roles. In the weeks leading up to his centennial, Van Dyke released a book, 100 Rules for Living to 100, an optimist's guide to a happy life, sharing insight into longevity, happiness, and resilience. In interviews, he credited a positive attitude, a focus on joy and humor, and avoiding hatred or anger as key elements in his long and vibrant life. Small pre-celebration events have already taken place, including a private sing-along gathering with family and friends, serving as a preview for our larger centennial festivities. Dick Van Dyke is more than just an actor. He is a cultural icon, from beloved television series The Dick Van Dyke Show to classic films such as Mary Poppins and Shitty Shitty Bang Bang. His work has touched multiple generations. This 100th birthday is not merely a personal milestone. It is a celebration of enduring talent, resilience, and the transformative power of joy and humor across changing eras. Through documentaries, books, and public tributes, Van Dyke's centennial becomes shared cultural moment honoring a life of creativity, optimism, and inspiration. I can't wait to see it happen this weekend. Also, in other news, there's been a celebrity feud between 50 Cent and versus Marlon Wayans from the Wayans brothers. The entertainment world has been captivated by a viral feud between rapper 50 Cent and actor-comedian Marlon Wayans, fueled by social media posts, memes, and sharp-tongued commentary. The clash began after Wayans made a pointed remark about karma in relation to 50 Cent's recent docuseries on Sean Diddy Combs, which chronicles the hip-hop mogul's career and cultural impact. Wayans' comments suggestion that Diddy's success and challenges reflect a karmatic balance were interpreted as subtle critique of 50 Cent's involvements in the project. 50 Cent's response, true to his reputation for social media dominance, 50 Cent fired back almost immediately, sharing a series of memes mocking Wayans, including a humorous GIF and captions highlighting perceived contradictions in Wayans' career and in commentary. His post quickly went viral, raking up millions of views and likes across Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok. Fans, followers engaged enthusiastically, creating their own memes and reaction videos in support of 50 Cent. Marlon Wayans counters, not one to be outdone. Marlon Wayans responded with his own memes, social media posts, turning the feud into playful back and forth that has kept fans entertained. His post cleverly referenced past 50 Cent's controversy, previous docuseries, and humorous takes on celebrity culture, drawing attention from both the comedy and hip-hop communities. The feud has sparked widespread discussion across social media platforms, trending under multiple hashtags as fans, influencers, and celebrities weigh in. Analysts of entertainment culture note that the spat highlights the power of meme culture in shaping modern celebrity interactions. While rooted in humor, the exchange have also amplified visibility for 50 Cent's docuseries and Wayans' public commentary, demonstrating how online feuds can function as both entertainment and marketing. Reactions from the hip hop and entertainment community have ranged from amusement to commentary on regional differences in celebrity engagement. Industry observers note that these viral conflicts illustrate the modern intersection of social media, celebrity branding, and audience participation. Beyond the laughs, the 50 Cent Marlon Wayans feud reflects broader trends in celebrity culture, where social media acts as a real-time stage for public interactions, allowing fans to participate in and shape the narrative. It also underscores the growing importance of digital engagement in sustaining cultural relevance and sparking conversations that ripple across music, comedy, and entertainment news cycles. And my ending discussion questions about that: how has social media changed the way celebrity feuds unfold and reach global audiences compared to traditional media? To what extent can viral exchanges, memes, and online banter impact public perception of celebrities involved? Are online celebrity feuds primarily entertainment, publicity strategies, or a mix of both? How can audiences distinguish between genuine conflict and performative rivalry? What roles does audience participation, sharing, commenting, creating memes play in shaping the narrative and longevity of modern celebrity conflicts? As always, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment sections what you think, and we'll touch on it on the next episode. For now, what we got so far here for these answers to these questions is one, change is in reach. For number one, social media allows feuds to go viral instantly, reaching global audiences for faster than traditional media. Number two, impact on public perception. Memes and online banter can shape how fans view celebrities, amplifying praise or criticism and influencing reputation. Number three, entertainment versus publicity. Often mix of both. Celebrities may use feuds to engage audiences or promote projects. Audiences can distinguish intent by context, patterns, and media framing. Audience participation, sharing, commenting, and creating content prolong the feud, spreads narrative widely, and actively shapes how the conflict is perceived. So let us know in the comment section what you think. This is what we got over here. And for now, we're going to move along. We're going to move now to Netflix CEO brushes aside Paramount Global's entirely expected hostile bid. So Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos has publicly dismissed Paramount Global recent hostile acquisition attempt, describing it as entirely expected, reaffirming confidence in Netflix's ongoing strategic plans. The comments come amid heightened activity in the streaming and media consolidation landscape as legacy and digital companies compete aggressively for content libraries. They're competing aggressively for content libraries, market shares, and global audiences. Paramount Global made waves with its unsolicited offer to acquire Netflix, a move analysts characterized as a hostile bid intended to pressure Netflix leadership and create leverage in rapidly consolidating streaming industry. While the bid signaled Paramount ambitions to expand its subscriber base and content footprint, it also drew skepticism from investors and industry observers who questioned whether combining two large-scale streaming operations would achieve the desired financial and operation synergies. At a press conference, Sarandos described Paramount offer as a entirely expected and emphasized Netflix super confidence in completing the planned acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. He highlighted that the deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, pending regulatory approval, will provide Netflix with a vast content library, including films, television properties, and franchises critical to long-term subscriber growth. Netflix stressed that the Paramount bid will not distract from its integration strategy, subscribers retention efforts, or international expansion plans. Analysts note that the Sarandos public dismissal is a common tactic used by companies facing hostile approaches, aiming to reassure investors and maintain operational focus. Netflix shares experienced brief volatility after news of Paramount's bid, reflecting market's uncertainty over potential acquisition outcomes. Industry experts note that hostile bids, even when unlikely to succeed, often trigger strategic communication, shareholders' activism, and competitive responses. The broader streaming and entertainment ecosystem continues to experience intense competition, with companies seeking dominance in content production, intellectual property ownership, and global distribution. The Netflix Warner Brothers Discovery deal represents a landmark move in this environment, while Paramount's bid underscores the high stakes of modern media consolidation. Now, moving on to the discussing questions about this. How do hostile bids in the media industry affect corporate strategy and public perception? What are the potential risks and benefits of Netflix completing its acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery in the current competitive streaming landscape? How might Paramount Global leverage this bid for strategical or financial advantage, even if its acquisition fails? In what ways do large-scale media mergers and acquisitions influence consumer choice, content or content availability, and subscription pricing globally? Let us know in the comment section, as always. This is going to be interesting because, I don't know if you guys know, the deal that Netflix put down was 86. Don't quote me on the number, but I know it's in the 80s. I think it's $84 billion to settle the deal with Warner Brothers. And then the hostile bid that are, not ours, they're not our friends, but that Paramount put out was $104.8 or $0.8 billion to buy Warner Brothers. So what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
but they went directly to the shareholders, which is very interesting because that means the CEO can't do anything. Because, well, he's talking all that saying, oh, well, yada, yada, yada. They can't, they're going to be, this is a normal thing for hostile takeovers, blah, blah, blah. The deal's going to still go through, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have the company, yada, yada, yada. All those shareholders are going to be like, hey, you know what sounds pretty good for this company? $100+ billion instead of giving away $80 billion. And then they're going to go to the CEO and be like, hey, we understand you're the CEO, but there's more of us. And we have more votes than your one vote. So you either accept what we say and let them have Warner Brothers, or you can kick rocks and we're going to let them have Warner Brothers.
Right.
And still take the money. So either way, they're not getting Warner Brothers. Like that's the whole reason why they went to the shareholders. Like that was a very smart move on their hand.
Indeed.
Honestly, that's what should have happened to what Netflix should have done is just straight up go to the shareholders. Is they should have been like, hey, how does 80 some billion dollars sound if you guys give us if you guys sell us all this, and just tell your CEO we want all of that, and that would have been so much smarter. Or you just merge with us.
Well, that was my last topic. I forgot to give you the heads up. What do you guys got left?
I can just rattle off mine right now without even having to look at my
Go ahead, ladies and
phone.
gentlemen. Before we send it to our good friend Revelation while he gathers everything up. Oh my God, I moved everything. Why did I do that to myself? This portion of the show, again, is brought to you by, I don't know if this is the button for it. Hopefully it is. Again, Red Rum Velocity Modern Classics. The boys down in Florida are always working on all the old classics, modernizing them. So make sure that if you want to modernize anything that you got, feeling classic but feeling modern, go ahead and contact Velocity Modern Classics. Right now, sadly, I don't have the phone number up, and I don't know why I don't. What kind of person am I, huh? What kind of person am I? Right? Well, my God. Let's see. Give me one moment. Give me one moment so I can get the information. Give me one moment. Of course. Here it is. Give me a second. Oh my God. What kind of... See, I wanted everything. I don't want just that. I want everything. Ladies and gentlemen, you can contact, and I want to know, right? If you're interested in building a velocity vehicle, learning more about modern classics, or want more information on purchasing one of their already restored classics, feel free to call them or enter your details in a form on their website, Velocity Restorations. You can contact them on their phone number 850-613-9149, or you can email them at info@velocityrestorations.com. Again, phone number 850-613-9149, or email info@velocityrestorations.com. Man, I thought that I had the information of their location, but I guess I don't. We'll blame it on the docket team. Let me see. Can I get a location? Give me a location. All right. It's located in near Pensacola, Florida, specifically nearby Cantonment, Florida. Once I have more information about it on their actual location, I'll start putting it on the screen as well, ladies and gentlemen, so don't you worry about that. Back to you, Revelation.
So, well, first of all, speaking of Netflix, for all of the fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, you probably know that there is a live-action TV series, specifically on Netflix. Well, they have just finished wrapping up season 2. And it will air in, I want to say the article said quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2026. So that means, for those who don't know specifically what those are, winter, and that would be quarter 1. Quarter 2 is spring and summer. So look for that when it comes out. And yes, the kids are older. Blame that on the Writers Guild strike. That is why. That is why there was that massive gap in between there. So Aang now looks like he's like 18 and is much taller. So yeah. Don't be upset at the show. Be upset at the time. So yeah. Little exciting news on that if you're, like I said, if you're an Avatar fan. Not the blue people. The airbendy kind of people.
Rock, earth, fire.
What are you trying to impersonate, Captain Planet over here? With these powers combined? That's old.
Oh my God. Anything else?
No, is Sleepyhead still here?
I think he might have fell asleep on his brand new chair,
I'm
ladies
still
and gentlemen.
here.
Oh, here he is.
There you are.
All right, send us to the very last topic. You started it, you ended, sir, and then I read the outro. Also, a
Wait,
little
what?
reminder: you're ending the show here with your last topic.
What? My last? I didn't know I had a last topic. I thought I covered all my topics.
Oh, you thought? Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, this portion of the show is brought to you by our last sponsor. Producer Mike presents in the Jessup Show Legacy. I'm the co-host of the show with producer Mike. We do a show called The Movement. It's in this channel right here. Visit it now. If you are interested of seeing a couple of shows, we also have a show within here that we used to do for the last 5 years. It was called The Jessup Show Podcast. That's why it says "And the Jessup Show Legacy," because the legacy is all of us that used to be on the show, and now we are starting sub shows now to continue along the legacy of Steve Jessup. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having a couple of new segments coming up next year on the podcast. So make sure that you tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and you won't want to miss it. We've been going in really hot on cool topics. We've been having a gaming night every Tuesday. We're versing each other on Connect 4. I have lost 3 times, and I don't know how. When producer Mike is sober or drunk, the sucker still wins. Ladies and gentlemen, though, make sure to tune in on Producer Mike Presents in the Jessup Show Legacy channel, and check us out on the movement with me, with Jey Morales and producer Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we have reached the end of the podcast. This is gonna wrap up tonight's show of episode of Unbound. Of course, we've covered a lot, from the U.S. seizing an oil tanker off Venezuela and renewed fighting along the Thailand-Cambodia border, to the Federal Reserve's latest rate cut, and the ongoing drama in streaming with Netflix and Paramount Global. We also looked at a major cultural moments. Dick Van Dyke's turning 100 on Saturday. The passing of salsa legend Rafael Ithier. Also, the sad passing of our childhood, cartoonist Jeff Garcia. In the viral feud between 50 Cent and Marlon Wayans. And don't forget the cosmic side of things, the NOAA. Let us know in the comments if you had any issues yesterday or Tuesday, for that matter. What else? We had many other stories here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And each story reminds us that the world is interconnected, unpredictable, and full of stories that shape our lives politically, culturally, and even technologically. But before we go, I want to take a moment to address 2 important issues: mental health and domestic violence. These are topics that impacts millions of people, often quietly, but support is available, ladies and gentlemen. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health challenges, you can contact the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline in the U.S. by dialing 988. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to provide support, guidance, and resources. For those affected by domestic violence, you can reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They provide confidential assistance, safety planning, and connections to local support services. Remember, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. You are not alone. Thanks for joining me tonight. Keep questioning, stay aware, and as always, stay unbound. Good night and Merry Christmas. Boys?
Night, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
And
coming.
before we go,
Oh, yeah.
we almost forgot something on the topic of streaming services. If you do, that is, do you sit down and binge watch stuff on your streaming service? Or do you only watch a few episodes at a time? When you join us next time, put that into chat what your answer is. We want to know that. Now, thank you for listening to the articles that we have prepared for you and gave the answers to. We thank you for joining, and we hope to see you next time. You have a good rest of your day, and stay safe. And if it's cold where you are, stay warm.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave you tonight with a with El Gran Como de Puerto Rico. I'm gonna get flack from the video because of YouTube doesn't like that. But you know what? We're gonna leave you with this, boys. I don't think you're gonna be able to hear this because I'm doing it off the actual computer. So give me just a second. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. It will be fixed in a second here. Anything else that you guys want to say? I know I suck right now. I should have had it ready, but I decided to change the song last minute, ladies and gentlemen, because this one is one of the last appearances from the maestro Rafael Ithier, and I believe that it deserves to be played. It's a very powerful song, in my opinion. Let's see here. Why is this not working? Bum, 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 bum. Come on. Docket team, make this work. Ugh, come on. Always when I'm trying to end the show in a good point, and it's not working. So that's that. Which was there we go. I got it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, we're gonna leave you with the El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. Thank you for tuning in again, and we'll catch you Friday, 10:35 Eastern time. Make sure to tune in, and we'll be touching on more topics as always. Stay unbound, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe and stay warm. If you're living in Western New York, it's going to be really crappy until Friday, so make sure to stay warm and drive safe out there. God bless and Merry Christmas.
All credits to the song go to the artist, not us.
Yes, correct. All the credit right here goes to El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico's YouTube page, courtesy from them. Again, thank you so much, everybody, and have a good night. I'm trying to get it there. Hey, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't see this working right now.
Well, just think now YouTube can't hit you, even though
Right.
we covered our bases by saying credit going to.
Yeah, I know. Credit going too, and it's not even doing it. What the heck? Let me try one more time. Give me one more. Give me one more chance. Oh my goodness. It was just working perfectly. Do I have it muted? No, I don't have it muted.
Watch it be playing downstairs through Bluetooth or something.
No. It's off the computer, but I don't know why it's not doing it. Man, it's embarrassing. Sorry, guys. One moment. There we go. Let me try one more time. Should be capturing the audio, and it's not capturing the audio. Well, looks like we're going to have to just let you go with nothing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God.
Homework, ladies and gentlemen, and stay safe and stay warm.
I'm really upset right now.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
This is
We're
crap.
going to blame it on Docket Team.
Yes. My God. All right, give me a second. I'm going to at least leave you with it over here. I wanted to show you the whole video, and it's not going. So confused. I wanted to leave you guys with something else. There was something else I needed to say, but I can't remember what it was.
Just give them some non-copyrighted jazz music.
About to just do that because it's not stupid. This is stupid. It was just working fine, and now it's not working. I'm pulling up producer Mike here, ladies and gentlemen. If you know what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Where did I just put that? It's still not working, so we're just going to leave you with this over here that we had earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Again, have a good night for the 5th and 1000th time. Oh, my God. Well, at least that ad didn't pop up on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. That's good, huh? All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Hey.
sé lo que quiere, algo está buscando. Pienso que esa luz paz está pidiendo para que los pueblos se sigan uniendo. Hay una estrella en el cielo, alumbrando dos luceros, y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Hay una estrella en el cielo, alumbrando dos luceros, y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Nos quiere guiar por el buen camino, esa luz del cielo es nuestro destino. Sigamos su huella que nos guiará hacia un mundo lleno de felicidad. Hay una estrella en el cielo, alumbrando dos luceros, y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Hay una estrella en el cielo, alumbrando dos luceros, y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Una luz que nos llena de esperanza y nos ilumina el sendero. Y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Nos pide que reine la paz y alegría en nuestro suelo borinqueño. Y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Que nos llenemos de nobleza del amor y su grandeza y nos sigamos uniendo. Y nos pide con su luz que haya paz en nuestros pueblos. Que haya paz y no guerra, que arranquemos de raíz el resentimiento. Que reine la paz en el mundo entero. Son los mejores deseos del Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. haya paz en nuestros pueblos.